don't want to have that right there. That was supposed to be on full screen for a reason. Jeez. Am I right, guys, or am I right? Multi-stream chat. All right. So basically, what we're doing today is rewatching this while I give my opinions on it because people seem to be really, really dumb, um, and hating over things that are like just not. I mean, there's things you can like say about the show that like sure they can be true, but I've seen so much that really just no. Oh wait, I can change it here. There you go. Okay. Has has it updated? Topic chat. Okay. Let's go. All right. So, yeah. That's what we're doing today. We are watching Roach Productions The Amazing Digital Circus. I haven't seen this in a screen this big since I saw it in theaters. I've seen this like myself and while watching other people react to it so many freaking times now. I have memorized parts of this not movie,
Are you
this
sure?
episode.
How did that even happen? There's no undo or anything?
Are you sure?
He was messing with the console as I was working.
Guess who finally got their
I don't
powers?
know what happened, but before I could try to get him back,
wait.
the floor opened up and...
That's convenient.
Are you sure?
Guess who finally got their powers?
Are you sure? How did that even happen?
Okay,
There's
sorry.
no undo or anything?
He was messing with the console as I was working. I don't know what happened, but before I could try to get him back, the floor
Mosquito.
opened up and...
That's convenient.
Jax.
What? Are we all just supposed to forgive this? This guy messed up in the worst possible way he could. Now, we have nothing.
Jax, please, just calm down. We're all... We're...
Anything else you want to tell us?
Jax!
What? He gets to mess up like this and everyone takes his side?
Okay, so here I'm already like noticing nobody really caught it in like any of the reactions that I've seen so far from other creators or like anybody in general. But like I don't know if it's just like a headcanon that I have or something else. Because usually whenever Jack says, oh, you know what? Let me change the TikTok live a little bit so that you guys can see more of the screen. It just means there's going to be like a lot of black bars, but that's fine. So you can see more of the actual screen and more of what's actually going on. But you see like his eyes for some reason whenever they're like whenever he has his persona, whenever he's basically lying, you know what I mean? That's when they're like round or oval shaped. And they're square right now. because like usually he's being mean to everybody else as part of his whole, you know, thing, like I'm the funny one, I get, you are my playthings and I get joy out of making you suffer, whatever. You know what I mean? um Usually it's an act because you know it's a really good act, but like usually it is kind of like a persona. But here Kinger just because a lot of people also say like, wasn't that what you guys were supposed to like, or what you were trying to do, or something like that? No, Kinger was supposed to try and find a way to um temporarily disable Kane, because Kane is the one who controls the circus, the one who can like literally make everything like they they feel like they need Kane. They did not want to completely delete him. And now that Kane is gone, Jax already had it in his mind they're never going to get out, nothing. He's genuinely upset, and it's not just that he's mad at Kinger for messing up. He's also mad at them for not reacting the way he does. Because if you remember in the last episode, oh my god, Jax joined. If you remember in the last episode, it literally starts with Zubul going off on Jax for pressing the wrong button in episode 7. Like Zubul was straight up pissed, super mad at Jax with the "don't you even though it was just an adventure and it didn't actually matter. That is what's making Jax so mad here, because they're just, everybody else is just kind of like okay with Kinger. Maybe they're not necessarily okay, but they're not blaming him whenever his mistake has like huge repercussions for them. Like he knows that, and he knows that whenever he messed up, there wasn't actually any stakes. And Zubul was still like super mad at him or her and everything, right? So that's kind of like his big thing here, which I think is actually really, really good, really interesting, because I mean, of just the whole fact that this is genuinely him, and the others aren't as mad at Kinger. Like Zubul isn't as mad at Kinger as they were at Jax, because of the fact that Jax is always doing stuff to them on purpose. So Zubul saw the button thing as like just another one of Jax's things, while Jax was like spiraling and everything, and like it was a mistake. Zubul just saw it as like, oh, Jax is just being his like normal asshole self again, you know. So that's really interesting there. And I have not seen a single person talk about
Brain
this.
scans. Scratch was trying to make a brain scanner. I didn't think it actually worked.
Crazy
We
that
didn't know how to work with the
the
files,
revelation came
and
at the
they were
beginning of the
impossibly
episode
small,
and not the end.
given what they were supposed to be.
Michael
I saw a
B,
folder
thank you
full
so
of
much
them
for the
when I was in
follow.
Kane's code.
My name's
So-
Michael with a B.
I guess Kane
There's a B.
found a way to get them working.
Sorry.
That means
I know what
I know
it
what
means.
it means.
Congratulations, Zubul! Guess you still get to leave your mark in the world. Oh, isn't that fun?
Jax.
I guess you still get to hang out with Mommy after all, right, Rags?
Shut up, Jax!
Guess I'm still...
I know.
God. And honestly, of all the things that he has done in the circus, that scene is probably the worst thing that he has done, just in general, to anybody. Like, bringing up Ragatha's mom, Zubul's, guess you still get to make your mark in the world, because that is straight up the one thing that Zubul was super upset about in the last episode, especially when after that rant with Jax.
I think I've always known. It just, for some reason, it still hurts so much to hear it.
I know it
Like,
hurts. But
man.
we still have each other.
I was
We're
shocked that
all in
this
this
revelation came at the
together.
beginning of the episode and not the end. His eyes just growing. What is this? We are currently going through the last episode of the Amazing Digital Circus and just kind of doing like a analyzation on it. Honestly, surprised this is on like your For You page or whatever. If you don't know what this show is. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big yikes. And then, of course, I think Kinger already kind of knew. Because especially like in episode 7, whenever they were like, we might have found a way to leave the circus, he was like, what are these guys talking about? Like, he could not think of a way. That is what my biggest like warning sign was, because the fact that the first group to enter the circus was all the programmers and developers of the AI and the hardware that got them in there, and people still expected them to actually break out when that group wasn't able to find a way out. There's just, I'm sorry, but there's just kind of no way that y'all really... Why did I just see a notification saying that Bill Cipher Yowie just joined the stream? But yeah, like the fact that the first group was all the people that made the code for this, made the hardware for this, and they couldn't find a way out. How was anybody expecting this group to actually get out? I want to know. Like, what is the logic there?
Need any help?
Sure. If you want to give it a try.
That's why Kinger R always knew. That's why he just went straight to
Relax your body and mind. Deep breaths. And try not to think too hard about it.
Oh.
I really wanted to help.
You had a good start.
I thought I could uplift everyone. but
Same pacing as One Piece.
Everything's gotten so bad.
I have been pausing a lot, but there's just a lot of things that I feel
Am
like
I
a lot of
stupid
people
for
have
even
missed.
trying?
That's
None of this is
crazy.
your fault. I don't think anyone could have predicted things to play out the way they did.
I did, by the
I'm
way.
scared.
Actually, kind of.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
You know, out of all the people I've seen enter this
I
place,
deadass skipped this scene.
I don't think
Why would
any
you
one
do
of them
that?
adjusted as quickly as you did.
I was a nervous wreck.
So was I.
The Amazing Digital Jacks.
It's a lot for
I don't care what
anybody
y'all
to go
say.
through.
It was a
But
great
while the
episode.
others took
I don't
weeks,
see how anybody
even
expected it to go
months to
any
get
differently
used to
from how
everything.
they did.
Myself included. You found your footing in a
Like,
matter
the
of
only
days.
thing that shocked me about this episode
Not just that.
that I wasn't expecting
also
was them
become
finding
someone
out they
you
were
can
brain
trust,
scans at the beginning
even
and
if
not
they
at
don't
the
seem
end of the episode.
Deceptive. It's times like these they're gonna need someone like that the most. You're very strong, Pomni. And I know you'll be able to get through this.
We've been here before.
Have we?
Yeah. Back in the Milden Hall Manor. I doubt you remember.
Well, it's still true.
I like
It
the
may
design
take time,
choice to keep one of his
but
eyes
they'll
in
come
the
around.
bucket so that
We
it's
can't
still
fix
dark for
every
him.
problem. Not with ourselves.
And that's why he keeps
Not
his
with
sanity.
the world around us. But we can still do what we can.
It's gonna be a lot of work.
But it won't be a lot of work alone.
I do like the little design or the artistic choice to have Zubul and Gable there together, showing that they've already like come to terms with each other at least. It's just them slowly joining the rest of the group. Of course, Jax was the only one that didn't join. I do like the way they make him seem sad. Like, right there. Let me see. Can I? Like, right there? Look at that face. That is somebody who is depressed. That is a good way to show it. And it almost reached out. And see, this is what I mean. Okay, because you can kind of see exactly what I was talking about earlier. How when Jax is being genuine, the eyes are more like squares. But as soon as they decide, like, no, never mind,
Never mind.
they change.
I wish I'd pried a little more.
Also, the fact that people were not expecting Jax to abstract off screen. As soon as I heard Pomni in a voiceover, like, I didn't even register what she had said. As soon as I heard a voiceover, I wish he's dead. Jax is fucking dead. Well, she's dead. I know these Goosework said that we can use either pronouns for her, but I just kind of use both, honestly. It just makes sense.
I somehow forgot how bad it can
As
get.
soon as I heard it, I wish I'd pried a little more. Yeah, Jax is dead. There's no other reason for that to have been said.
What do we do now? What can we do?
I do like that we can see the shapes that they themselves had made to cover up the holes too. Here, I actually had not paid that much attention. I did not notice that the first couple times I watched this.
Do this. Of course he'd wait until there's nothing we could do about it. That's just so... God damn it, Jax.
And I love that Zubul, like, they're angry. You know, they clearly have some anger there. But they are still sad that that happened. And then Gangle with the, why can't I cry for him?
For what? Hey. This isn't your fault.
Why can't I cry for him?
The fact that she says that, and it genuinely is like the first time in the show that she doesn't have her happy mask on and there isn't already tears on it. And I've seen nobody mention that.
We should.
Because that
try
mask
coming up
comes
a plan
with
to
the
keep him
tears.
contained.
And she doesn't have them there.
You know, I always thought it should have been me.
Don't say that.
Okay.
You were...
That line kind of gets me because, I mean, if you're not aware, like, obviously, abstraction is an allegory for, I can't say it on TikTok, but, you know. And her saying, I always wish it had been me, or, like, I always thought it should have been me. That is crazy
friends once.
to think.
I mean, sort of friends. As much of friends as anybody could have been with Jax. We could talk to each other, at least. But then, what was it? Something like the snowy summit. I can't really remember. But something happened between him and her. And Ribbit. Her name was Ribbit.
Yeah. I think I remember you mentioning her before.
I wasn't supposed to. After Ribbit was gone, I tried to comfort him. He told me to never mention Ribbit's name again. He made me promise. And I did. I think that's where our friendship really, finally ended. I wonder if things would have been different if I'd said no. It was so hard for me.
By the way, that makes that one scene so like fuck, because whenever Pomni asks like, if you do you have any actual friends, and Ragatha says not anymore, the way you see Jax's face change instantly and look at her, and she just like covers her mouth and stuff, like you can see it just slipped out for no reason. That is like the only thing I don't like about Ragatha, because especially with something like that, yeah, that's kind of fucked. That is like the only like bad thing that she has probably done while being in the circus.
I still don't know why I did it. I just wanted him to know he wasn't alone. I was
ate nuts.
there for him.
That's great, Toby Fox.
And I guess I just didn't want to lose any more friends.
I need to play Deltarune still.
Show us what I know, huh?
Ragatha, you were the first real friend I made here. And despite all that's happened, I still consider you my closest friend.
I'm glad we're still friends.
It's crazy because whenever you're holding something in, like whenever you're really holding it in and you're not opening up to anybody, but somebody still hugs you like that, they did such a good way to show that, because that is exactly like what happens. It's like everything just kind of was built up and it just explodes all at once.
What are we gonna do?
Make sure Gangle, Zooble, and Kinger are okay.
God, the way their
I need
tears are
someone like
animated
you right
is
now.
so cool.
Pomni, you've been one of the best things to happen to me since I got here. I trust you.
This scene felt a little weird. Just because it feels like, yeah, one of them's about to die. Which isn't the case, but I think that's what they want you to feel. Because the next scene is Pomni trying to go after Jax alone. You know what I mean? And Pomni almost abstracts while talking to Jax in the abstracted form. Oh my god, it's canon. What? But yeah, like Pomni almost abstracts, with abstraction being like an allegory to, you know, that. I think it was supposed to feel like one of them was going to die because Pomni almost did while having the dialogue with Jax. That's it. That scene always kind of gets me. It's crazy how much better the animation on the abstractions is in this episode compared to the first one. I love this scene. It really looks so nice. Here's a jailer. It's crazy because
Jax,
we all know Ragatha kinda hates Jax.
I just want you to know.
And
that
Ragatha is
if
the
you
one
need
that
anything,
makes Jax
or if you need to
spiral
talk to anybody,
the absolute most.
I'm here for you. I know you need it. And I'm the only person who can help you. You need me. I can fix you.
The fact that this is how Pomni, or how Jax sees Pomni, Jax believes this, or Jax believes that Pomni believes that. Jax knows that he needs the help. Jax knows that he can be helped and everything, but he believes that if anybody can, it's Pomni.
What? We can't die from oxygen deprivation, remember?
Come on, guys, put some gusto into it.
This one's the one that I don't understand as much, because it's like, I can't tell if Jax likes Gangle in some sort of way, or if this one is just completely about Jax's own identity and how Zubul kind of represents like somebody who has come to terms with that.
We're gonna make this the best funeral ever!
So I'm
It's
kind of
what
gonna
Zubul would
skip
have
through
wanted
this
to make
one.
fun of them.
Isn't that what you're doing?
What are you all doing?
That one, a lot of people say that it's probably like the door behind, or that behind that is like the views on if Pomni abstracted, which makes sense because like I said earlier, Jax does seem Pomni
I
as
think
the
this
one that
calls
could
for a
probably
change in
fix-
scenery. How the hell did you get in
references.
here? We
Okay.
have a strict no girls allowed policy.
Why are you wearing that? I wouldn't be caught dead wearing that.
I'm wearing it ironically. That way it shows truly just how little I...
I just noticed another thing. The eyes. It's the lying eyes when he looks at this Jax and tells him, I would be caught dead wearing that. And that's the Jax that's just a full on persona. Nothing
Care.
like how Jax actually feels.
Don't forget about me. I can play the piano. You know, if you have.
And that Jax having the small square ones because he's like, I can play the piano. I can do something. Like, I'm actually good at something.
To say you can play the piano, it makes it seem like you can't actually play. Yeah, just shut up and play!
Is that what you really think of us back there?
And of course,
Oh,
he's
that?
chained to,
Who knows?
to the piano. I mean.
Everything's way.
Where's the real Jax?
You're not gonna get anywhere asking questions like that. Now scram! You're messing up our game.
Do any of you have a key to this door?
Nope. And even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you. You women need to learn to quit prying all the time. Wow. I hope that doesn't also happen to me. Wow. I hope that doesn't also happen to me.
Okay. So this is the door that she goes through to get all those memories and everything. And this door is the one that the actors and everybody, or the actors, I think, was it Pomni's actress? I don't remember. But one of them said, I thought it was Girl Jax, which would make sense. There's all their Jaxes. All the personas are sitting at the table just doing whatever they want. The only real one is the one that's chained to the piano. Glad that he can do something. And he's chained to the piano. But like even more embarrassing to Jax than that is this door. The one he really doesn't want anybody to see. That's him as a girl. That's her. And I'm gonna skip through
Devout
most of
Mormons
this.
But like I could never. Dang. I was just kind of. Feel bad. No.
Jax told
I mean,
his mom.
if the police.
Yeah.
My head?
Okay, this scene. I really want to talk about this scene because, yeah, Jax is terrible. Jax did technically cause Ribbit to abstract. I would say a lot of people say Ribbit and Kaufmo, but Kaufmo, I think, was kind of a thing towards everybody because by then Kaufmo just said he doesn't get along with Jax, which means he doesn't interact with Jax as much. And he came to Jax to tell him, I know we don't get along, but here's the thing, I think I might have found an exit. And he gets told off, called crazy. None of the others believed him either. Like, everybody knew that Kaufmo had been talking about this exit door. Nobody believed him. So, honestly, it is kind of fucked for people to blame Kaufmo's abstraction on him. Ribbit's abstraction? Yeah. That was... I mean, Ribbit, obviously, everybody in the circus already has their own problems. But a lot of Ribbit's abstraction was because of Jax. The thing is, at this point, they didn't know abstraction was a thing. The only one that had seen anybody abstract were Kane and Kinger. Kinger is already crazy by this point, and Kane doesn't like that idea. So Kane does not let them in on all the bad things that can happen in this circus. But like, even if he did know, Jax genuinely believed that Ribbit was just trying to hold it over his head. Like, he wasn't right. He was dead wrong. He was being stupid, yes. But, like, there is nothing in any of these flashback scenes that we get that shows that he knew that she was genuinely trying to be nice. Like, people say, "Oh, he was just being rude," like as a coping mechanism. Yes, he was, but like we also see in the scene with Kaufmo, Ribbit is nowhere near them, and Jax has to tell Kaufmo, "Hey, if Ribbit says anything about me, it's not true," because he's scared because he thinks that's what's going on. Like,
Is that really what you think?
This
yeah,
can't be what
it
you
really
want.
is.
What? Because you know me so well. Because we're such super close best friends. So we know everything about each other.
We were great friends, and I'm
Oh my
sorry for
God.
crying, but I don't want this one stupid mistake to be
Here
the
we
thing
go.
that ends
Here
all
we
of this.
go. Why are you still fixated on that night? Nothing happened. You keep reading into things when there's nothing there.
And that's Jax being mad that Ribbit figured it out, because Ribbit put the bow on Jax's head. Ribbit figured it out. Jax does not like that Ribbit figured it out. Jax said nothing happened to it. You're reading into things when there's nothing there. Except that there is something there. Ribbit did figure it out. Jax just doesn't like that. Jax doesn't like being exposed, basically. And I mean, with the way Jax's like mom and dad treated her, it's valid to feel that, but honestly, it is Jax being way too dense. Like, if he actually took up the conversations and actually like listened instead of just fighting it the entire time, things probably would have ended up going much better in the circus.
You're the one using me. You're manipulating me.
See, you're manipulating me and turning, like, how the subtitles cut off. I think he was gonna say turning everything against me or something like that.
I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone.
I do kind of want to know what it is that happened in between that, because Jax in this scene is like sitting down, almost like fetal position. Ribbit is apologizing. I think Ribbit may have fully said something about Jax being trans, or like not just hinted at it and just straight up said it, and that like made Jax mad, or something about Jax's mom. We don't know exactly what happened here, but with all the cutscenes being interrupted by like the abstraction thing, I think the cutscene parts that we're getting are the ones that he regrets the most, because they're the ones that lead up to the abstraction the most. You know what I mean? Like Ribbit apologizing, turning away, and leaving. He
Hey,
really did not like
If
that.
Ribbit ever says anything about me, just know it's not true.
Yeah, see, like this. Right after that scene with Ribbit apologizing, Ribbit said something about what she found out. Something like that happened there. That's why Jax is on the ground. Like, Jax seemed to be the aggressive one up until that point, because he was being aggressive, and then all of a sudden, Jax is on the floor, sitting down. That's really interesting to me. I want to know what happened there, but I get the choice not to show it. And there's this scenes, him almost going to help, but he felt bad and he didn't, and that's what ended up happening.
Don't be afraid to reach
into the system.
Yeah, this part was just fucked up. At that point, like, Jax was already broken. It was like, there's already no going back. He's just rude forever.
Out of the way, Rags.
Jax, look, I know we don't get along, but I think I might have found a way out of here.
Have fun being crazy.
Like that. Yeah, he's one of the people that didn't believe Kaufmo. But he wasn't the only one. Like, everybody knew that Jax or that Kaufmo had seen some sort of exit door or was talking about an exit door. People are fully blaming Jax for Kaufmo's abstraction when that is the only scene between them two that we're getting. Jax is blaming himself for Kaufmo's abstraction. What the fuck are you doing? We're doing an analyzation video on this episode. I've had to skip through bits because the first like 10 minutes took me over 20 minutes of stream. um yeah, we're 30 minutes in and we're 40 minutes into the stream, bro. But like people are fully blaming, saying it's just Jack's fault that Kaufmo abstracted. No, there was a lot more to Kaufmo's abstraction than Jack's. Nobody believed him. That's what made him crazy. And the fact that he had seen the door, he probably tried to go through it and found the same thing Pomni did, which is just more and more exit doors, before Kane pulled him out. And that's why his room was covered in "there's no way out, there's no exit, we're trapped." That's what happened.
And I should just
It
play
wasn't
along
just
until we wake up,
Jax.
right?
Whatever you say, kid. You never know.
I love the head movements from his perspective. Like, the detail of having those head
Too
movements
late.
there. The amount of people that I've seen that don't realize this scene is from that first episode, between the time when he took the bowling ball, which by the way was in Ribbit's room earlier. It was like in here. Yeah, you can kind of see it in the corner. He took that bowling ball, and then the next scene that we saw him was with Kinger and Gangle. This was right before that. Right before he found them. And he's like spiraling because Kaufmo, like, even though they didn't technically get along, Kaufmo was the last person that he had that had been at one point a friend.
You're not looking too good. You gonna cry? Looking like this?
I'd move on.
And probably forget.
And probably forget about you.
Like that, I love that. I love whenever shows or anything does that.
Hey.
We saw that episode 7. And then we get to this scene. Bah!
I didn't know you could play the piano.
The choice to have Pomni's first words be, "I didn't know you could play the piano." Like, Jax, as far as Jax knows, what just happened was Pomni went into his mind, saw the absolute worst things he has ever done because he feels responsible for the death of 2 of his friends, or her friends. Pomni saw all of that. Pomni saw what Jax sees as him being a terrible person, and Pomni's first question or first words were, "I didn't know you could play the piano." Like, come on.
I only know like 2 songs.
Why are you here?
Oh man.
You know everything now.
See, like, you know everything.
So why are you here?
Why are you still here? Why are you still trying to like talk to me after you
To rub every mistake
everything
I've ever made in my face?
done wrong?
I'm a terrible person. Is that what you want me to say?
Saying that as this plays, because that is like that's probably the first thing that comes to his mind that's not from the circus that makes Jax a terrible person. As far as Jax is aware. As far as like she knows. Yeah. That's the worst thing I did, like, outside of the circus. I might have killed my mother.
I already know I am. So why does anybody still care about me?
And let me.
You're not supposed to care. You're not supposed to miss me. You're not supposed to love me. This isn't how this is supposed to go. Please. Leave me alone. You're making this so much harder.
Gonna go on a slight rant, which I know I did go on this same rant the other day, but I was drunk then and bawling my eyes out. um but this scene, honestly, it really hits hard because it is Jax almost talking to themselves and Pomni at the same time. It's what I can't say that I understand the struggles of anybody who's like in the LGBTQ community, especially like what Jax is going through being trans and stuff. Um Also, people saying that it's bad. Bro's talking to one person. Yes, I am, and I do it again. Also, that one person is me. But I'm also on TikTok. Um, guess who? Imagine lagging. Lagging D's not. That doesn't even make sense. Wait, guess who? Imagine lagging. Account created June 2024. I have no idea. I have no clue, bro. But like, I I I cannot. It's butter. Of course, it's butter. Welcome in. But as I was saying, I cannot like imagine what struggles the community goes through, like with acceptance, whether it's from like just everybody else or just their own parents and stuff. But I know it freaking sucks because I mean, I'm not in the community technically. I don't. My sexuality is kind of. It's out there. It's weird. Um, I don't know how to explain it, but I've had people make fun of me just because I'm not like a manly man or whatever, and I'm okay with that. Like, it doesn't bother me anymore. Just because I'm like, okay, well, I don't care. But I know I have a lot of friends that are in the community, and I know the struggles with getting acceptance from like your parents, the rest of your family, friends, just everybody else, especially when you don't know what their views are. Um and Jax saying that whole like you're not supposed to care, you're not supposed to miss me, you're not supposed to love me. Why I'm a terrible person. Why does anybody still care? Abstraction being what it is, an allegory for, you know what? Fuck TikTok. An allegory for suicide. Like, you're making this so much harder. That's Jax talking about how the fact that people care about Jax and still I wanna say love Jax, but let's be real, most of the people in the circus don't actually. Um, but just the fact that anybody loves Jax, anybody cares for Jax, makes the choice of committing suicide so much harder for her. And like okay, I've been there where you think about it and like you really think about it, you're contemplating, and sometimes, and let me just say, you shouldn't have to live for other people, but if that's what's keeping you here, that's what keeps you from fully committing, hang on to that. Cuz I mean, I have um because I don't want to leave my nieces. I know they'd be devastated if I was to just be gone one day. Um Sometimes that's the only thing that can stop us from doing that. And it shouldn't be that way, but the fact that it stops us makes it possible to keep going and find more reasons to stay. I don't know if that really makes a lot of sense or not. um it's just, God, I hate talking about stuff like this, especially on live. I'm so used to texting about this stuff that it's so hard to actually talk. But yeah, Jax is saying the fact that there's people that care about me makes it so much harder to just leave them, because I know that it's gonna make them feel bad, that they're gonna miss me, and that's what I don't want. That's what makes this harder. That's what this whole conversation is, and honestly, Jax is a terrible person, but so well written. Because, I mean, it's real. People say, oh, they didn't make it obvious, they didn't make it clear what Gooseworks was doing with Jax. It's based on her own experience. It is a self insert, and I don't care. Self insert is not lazy writing. I I mean, I'm trying to write a book right now. Having a self-insert character is so much harder than writing somebody from scratch, especially whenever it's somebody who's not a good person. Because you have to know how bad you are. You have to be able to see that and still be able to put it in writing and say, yeah, this was me. I was this bad. I could have turned out this bad. And that's so much harder than creating a brand new character that's as bad. I feel like he's kind of fair for being such a terrible person because he wants everyone to just hate him to not burden them when he dies. Now, I'm not saying that it's a good reason, but it's understandable. Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying earlier, if you have people in your life that keep you here, don't push them away. Keep them around because they will, like, staying here for them will let you find other reasons to stay. But he is genuinely trying to push them away so that they don't feel what he felt after Ribbit and Kaufmo abstracted. He doesn't want anybody else to go through what Jax went. And he goes about it the complete like he goes about it a terrible way because he is terrible. He does constantly make people suffer, and honestly, he could have caused more abstractions if he had stayed and had stayed the same. But the fact that this is a point of no return, the fact that and I kind of took that line from Danny Mata. The fact that he said Jack says here, there's no going back. That's why Jax is finally opening up because it doesn't matter anymore. He's already gone. So that was my little rant there.
You're making this so much harder.
And that's what I mean. Like, you're making it harder to leave Because I don't want you to miss me.
You should have just talked to me, man.
And you really should. If you have those thoughts, you
It's
should
too
talk
late.
to the people that care about you.
I did this to myself. There's no coming back from this.
Then talk to me now.
It's a point of no return. There's no going back.
I hate you. You know that? You always have to go and complicate things.
It's what I do.
It's sad because in like serious situations like that, that really is how friends talk to each other. Oh, I don't want to go always kind of gets me. And then the panic attack followed by it. Like, the fact here is Jax is already gone. Jax has already abstracted, but we're almost seeing like one last conversation before his soul leaves, almost. I know that's not exactly what it is, but that's almost what it feels like because, yeah, there's no way to save Jax now. Jax is gone.
Stay.
I love this montage, so I just wanted to put the right part.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute. Oh, I never thought.
And I love how throughout that little montage, you get more and more clips of Jax's eyes with the little squares. You know, what I was talking about earlier. I still don't know if that's real or not, but yeah. Such a good cover of this song. And people thought, I can't believe there's people that are saying that if Pomni hadn't gotten pulled away, she would have been able to save Jax. No, look at her. They glitch with the abstractions. The abstractions are corrupted mind files. They can corrupt the other files. It's like a virus. No, Pomni was going to abstract too.
Oh, you weren't gonna try to take care of
Then there's Gangle.
Having a lot of complex thoughts.
Okay, that's sweet. I had not noticed these drawings. I don't know what these ones are, but this one's clearly Zubul, Gangle, and Pomni. All kind of happy. I love that. But yeah. First off, checking on your friends. That's always something good to do. Secondly, completely fair of Gangle to not have been able to cry for a long time after Jax's abstraction. Because, as I said before, Jax was a dick. Jax was terrible. And sometimes whenever people like that disappear, you kind of think at first like, oh well, it's a good thing that they're gone. And eventually, it might not even be that you're sad that they're gone. You might just kind of be like, it's terrible that they did that to themselves. Like, the situation is bad. You're not necessarily crying for the person, but for the situation. Or sometimes you are crying for the person. It's kind of a silly comparison because it's not the same, but it kind of reminds me of in Yu Yu Hakusho, whenever we get to see the reactions of everybody in Yusuke's life, like showing up to his funeral and all their reactions and stuff, and especially whenever Kuwabara shows up and he's like, "Hey, we were supposed to do this," or like, "You're supposed to fight me," like, "I was supposed to beat you up," or whatever. It's been forever, so I don't really remember exactly what he says, but you should react to your lie in April next. Bro just wants me to cry on stream. That's crazy. I'm not necessarily like reacting to stuff. Yes. I've seen your lie in April. Like 4 years ago. Oh my god, yeah, that was before I was with my ex. Jesus. It was so good. I just haven't seen it in forever. Or Parasite. Oh, Parasite made me cry so bad. Silent Voice was good too. I need to forget all the spoilers I know of Cyberpunk Edge Runners before I watch it. um but yeah, like it's kind of like that, like in Yu Yu Hakusho, where they might not they might miss the person even though it wasn't somebody that they actually had like a close friendship bond with them, because you're still thinking they're not gonna be there anymore. And it's complete, like, Gangle is completely fair in everything that she feels here. I just want to put that out there because it might seem mean, or for the Jax haters, they might be like, "Hell yeah," but I mean, yeah, they're complex thoughts. It is a lot to take in.
We're still human.
And I do like Gangle, just not even talking about the comedy mask at all in this episode, because she genuinely just smiles sometimes.
I hope it's enough to keep him contained.
He should be calm.
All of you.
Hey, someone had to do something.
Then there's Kane's whole
They
thing.
tried to delete me. They're in the wrong.
Okay, this scene. I want to talk about this scene while it's going, because a lot of people did not realize that it was a parallel between him now and him back when he built the circus. Because right now he's seeing the Wi-Fi next door. Back then he was seeing that file. And that's what brings me to my theory that the void is straight up just the rest of the computer. He throws the blue AI into the void. He found a folder in the void. So many people don't understand that this is a flashback scene. Yeah, exactly. So many people don't see that the scene where he's a red dot slowly becoming like a person, they don't realize that that was a flashback to back then. It's crazy to me. But yeah, I think the void is just the rest of the computer, because in the void he finds the folder with the brain scans. So to me it's either the rest of the computer, because this is where he finds like that the Wi-Fi is there, or it is the folder at CNA, at that computer at CNA, that has all their vaulted projects, like the stuff that they never ended up using, like the brain scans that they couldn't figure out, the AI that wasn't perfect, so they just threw them in there. Or the void could even just be the trash bin. It could also just be the junk file, since that's where he got sent after he got deleted. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it could just be the junk file, and I know I remember like when episode 8 came out, a lot of people were talking about how Kinger's coding was in a coding language that doesn't have junk files in that system. So no, so a lot of people were saying like, and I thought that too because like from a coding perspective, it made sense. Kane wasn't coming back, but the thing is, the computer that Pomni saw was Windows, so Kinger is used to coding in that language, so that's why the code was in that language, but the computer was actually on like Windows. um, L ads. Oh damn, L ads indeed. Um, but yeah, like the computer as a whole, Pomni saw it and stuff. It's completely possible that the company had just switched in the friggin' 20 years that Kinger had been in there. So that's why, like, yeah, it was a good theory that, like, would show, yeah, Kane's not coming back. But we're also talking about a guy who's using the code that was there from, like, 20 years ago. Completely makes sense that that's not the same anymore. Or it could even just be like a I know a lot of companies have like hard drives and stuff like that with their old stuff that they don't use anymore. It could just be that hard drive itself. Like the circus is one folder in that hard drive, and the void is basically when you go out to the C drive and you can see everything else that's in there or something like that. Like that is absolutely what I can see. Because I also feel like a big company like that wouldn't just like throw all this stuff in a junk file. They would just keep it in a separate folder for all the stuff that they're not using anymore. That's just kind of what makes more sense. But what do I know? I'm a fucking mailman. But yeah, we have the little parallel to him finding a way to the Wi-Fi while old him finds his way to the brain scans. Now, one thing I do think could have been explained a bit better is I don't know if all the brain scans, especially with how Grant looks in real life, I don't know what age he's supposed to be, but I don't know if all the brain scans were done at the around the same time or like how many waves of brain scans there has been. Uh so I don't know if this is King or like just getting all of them and he threw them all in at the same time or if he just like put them in a file or whatever and they just like came into the circus whenever they got ready or whatever. I do wish we had gotten a little bit more on that. Because like my theory, since we really didn't get a lot on why they or how they all got their brain scans, because people say like, oh yeah, all these people just went into an abandoned building and put on a headset. That makes the least amount of sense out of any of these theories because Pomni is the only one that, or Pomni and Zubul are the only ones that say that they used to go to abandoned buildings. Jax could have, because he was homeless. But Gangle is like my biggest thing against that because Gangle was said to have injuries, like probably from like getting ran over or something by a bus. What is she doing in an abandoned building? My theory is actually that um they all volunteered for this like the brain scan thing because CNA was offering like some sum of money to like people that would want to do the trials or whatever. You know, like how a lot of colleges have like those like medical things that you can sign up for and stuff like that. Like that's kind of what I figured because it makes sense. Kinger obviously was just testing out the software and stuff. Jax was homeless. He could have used the money. Pomni was at a dead end job. She didn't really know what she was doing with her life and stuff. Extra money. Zubul could have used that to open her bar. Gangel's family could have signed them up, or Gangel themselves could have signed up to help pay for the hospital bills and the recovery stuff. And who am I missing? Ragatha, uh, after like cutting contact with her mom and stuff, trying to find her place in the world. Like, that's kind of my headcanon on it, just because it kind of makes sense and it like fits at least a little bit for everybody. Connection secured. He gets all their information.
They're from a world so much bigger than mine. I'm keeping them locked in a cage. They had their fun out there. It's my turn now. If I leave them unchecked, they could kill me.
They already did.
They already did.
I love his voice actor did so good on that.
I'm sorry I did this to you.
And I'm sorry for skipping around, because really the main like discourse on this episode is about the Jax parts. This is kind of like more self-explanatory and stuff, so I'm skipping through it just so I can like get done with it. Because I think honestly I might actually just upload this to, VOD to YouTube as well, because I want my thoughts to be out there on this. Because I barely got into it like after episode 7 came out, and it's already one of like the bigger parts of my life. I feel like it's affected me in a lot of ways already. You know what I mean? So he gets rid of the blue AI, which a lot of people, I've seen a lot of like reactors be confused because they thought that Kane was the bad AI. But no, Kinger said that Kane was their first semi-successful attempt at one. Kane was kind of successful. I think it's just him merging codes with the blue AI. Like, the conflicting codes are probably what make Kane unstable. And people asking for Bubble. Bubble is either partly made by Kane with, like, Bubble is either just a complete AI made by Kane, or like another entity made by Kane with the code for the blue AI. Like, that's why whenever he goes back without the blue AI, Bubble isn't there anymore. I don't see what's so hard to understand about that for people. Like, it just makes sense.
Power we had together. If I'm ready to face them again.
This scene, I love it.
Know if I deserve to be forgiven.
It may take time, but all good things do. I still love you.
You know, I never programmed you to say you loved me.
I know.
I love this too, because it just proves, like, Kane had been working on making more and more advanced AIs, like, in the adventures. Like, that's what he said Gumiku was at the beginning of the second episode. He was like, yeah, this one's supposed to be, I don't know how many times more interactive or something like that. He has made incredible AI, and he has created one that is able to come up with its own thoughts. And especially with earlier what he said, like, was their free will not what made them alluring in the first place, or something along those lines. And here he is talking to, because he said, like, you can't create them. And here he is talking to the moon, who says something that she's not programmed to say. And he's like, you've basically learned to say something I didn't teach you. Like, you basically have that free will that made the humans alluring in the first place. And, like, his look of just wonder, I feel like, is what that was. I love it.
A lot about you and your world.
And then I'm gonna skip to
Them in
this
her
part.
videos with her, which she
Yeah.
still posts on occasion. Ragatha, Susie J. Ackerman. She appears to have left her hometown, cut all communication with her mother, and has excelled in her career. She's made many friends, and it looks like she has a strong, genuine connection with them. She seems happy, like she understands who she is, and that she matters to people. Gangle, Zoe Raghavan.
The fact that
Despite
people
her
think
injuries,
that this is like
she's made a good recovery
a
in
sad
the
ending.
hospital.
No, they all
She
got
quit her
to
fast food
like
job
believe
and has gotten a new job at a small
that they were
design
able
firm.
to get over the
She
problems.
even began posting pages of her
and that they're
webcomic online.
happy out there. And they're happy in here with
Zubo,
each other.
Riley
At least in
Vercellis.
some ways.
After hopping around with different jobs, they look like Jax, Leroy Mateo. After being unhoused for a few months, he
And
was
Kane
able to
taking
room with
off
one of
his
his
hat.
close friends. He seems to have gotten a stable job and is able to pay rent.
It's literally me! No, that's funny, but like that is just kind of what my job is. I love that.
He and his friends go out every now and again. Weirdly enough, a spot they seem to frequent is Riley's bar.
Is any of this actually real?
You definitely have it in you. Not sure about mine, though.
Well,
Like that, it's
maybe
all
you've got
real.
more confidence than you thought.
I love it. Like it's bittersweet, but it's
I
still
don't
a
quite
happy
have
ending.
the same power that I used to, but I can still make this place better for you. I'm keeping the worlds open, so you can do what you...
I'm just Pomni.
And that, like all of them smiling whenever she says that, they all understand that, and they're all just gonna be themselves here, which is kind of great. Okay, while this like last little bit is playing out, I do want to mention I also love the fact that Kane, what made Kane kind of scary before was how much control he could have over the circus. But now without the blue AI, he doesn't have nearly as much. And now that they know everything about the circus, they have more control. So it's almost like they've equalized their power. Not exactly, but it's gotten a lot closer to what equal could be. And now they know that they're not humans that are trapped in here. They're just brain scans. They're just pieces of code, just like him. While he's a super advanced code that's trying to imitate humans, they're a code created from human mind that's trying to imitate the digital, like AI almost. So it's almost like they've come closer to being more like the same beings, like the same type of creations. They're not, but they're as close as they could probably get. I also love that she always has the weirdest fucking food, because why does she have just a fish? Like that freaking, what was it, a sandwich that just had tomatoes? Like, it's just so funny to me. But yeah, that's the show, and it's such a good one too. I'm kind of glad I haven't been here since the beginning, because that would have been a long wait. And then Pomni here, now that they know that they aren't really humans, they're just beta code. then she starts to break the fourth wall like Jax did. And then in the cutscenes, she's trying to play the piano just like Jax did. Here, she's struggling to learn the piano. Ah! That hurts me. And I love that in this, I don't know if maybe the world is just dark, but like Kinger being like the sorcerer guy or whatever it is, while not wearing the bucket, I wonder if he got more sane just without it, or if like they figured out another way or something to like make it dark for him, or like if he just keeps the bucket on, and then whenever he doesn't have it on, it's because they're in like dark adventures or something. Absolute thank you to Gooseworks. Ganglex Zubul, official Yuri in the credits. Yes, Ragatha was listening to them going at it, bro. I love the things that people have done to this location in real life too. And that's the show. So that's really my whole thoughts on it. Like I said, most of the discourse was over the Jax part. I don't mind that it became quote unquote the Jax show, like people said. Jax was always a main character. And the fact is, the first few episodes all had a focus on a different character. And we got to learn about those other characters and how they are throughout the show. And then in this last episode, it focused on Jax because he was the only one that was faking the entire time and putting up a persona the entire time. We got to know the others, we got to know their life stories. It was just dragged out over 7 or 8 episodes, while his was just episode 9, maybe a little bit, you could say. The last few episodes were more focused on him as well, just because we saw a bit more of him alone, but he still wasn't necessarily breaking character. And people being mad that he abstracted off screen, why would we get that scene of the abstraction all over again? He was literally like 2 inches from touching it in episode 7 and abstracting in episode 7. If it wasn't for that, he would have abstracted then. Like, if they hadn't knocked on the door, he would have abstracted then. There's no reason to repeat that scene. Who's my favorite character now that the show ended? I don't know. I mean, like, personality wise and everything, I think Pomni. Um, I mean, I love Kinger. I'll always love Kinger. Just because he really is like wise and everything when he's in the dark, and then whenever he's not in the dark, he's kind of just funny. I love him for that, but I love the way Pomni, she was there for all of them. Like, they talk so much about how everybody needs somebody like Ragatha, but really Pomni had helped everybody throughout all the other episodes after she got over her shock of joining the circus. Like, Pomni was there for everybody the way that they talk about Ragatha being there for everybody. Ragatha's a little too much for me, just because I do feel like if I had a friend like Ragatha in real life, I would be like, is any of this actually genuine? Like they said in the show, a lot of them said in the show that they felt that way about her, and I think that's completely valid. I don't think I'd be able to trust somebody like Ragatha as much as I trust somebody like Pomni. But like from a character like writing standpoint and everything, Jax is just really, really well written, and I love her for that. Um, big thanks to Gooseworks. I know Gooseworks said that she wasn't gonna touch this show again, and it makes sense because people are shitting on it for absolutely no reason because every complaint that they have is so stupid to me. I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm gonna end the stream there. I'm gonna go to bed because for some reason I took about an hour and a half to watch this hour-long video. And I'm pretty sure I skipped through most of the last half hour of this video. Sleep is for losers. Yeah, well, I work at 9 in the morning, so I kind of have to. My bad. I'm pretty sure I have a walking route tomorrow too. That's gonna be another 25,000 steps.